Good afternoon. How are we doing? Apologies for the delay. We had a bit of a camera nightmare, which meant we had to restart everything. But we're here now for our weekly update number 106. So, apologies for that. The camera just didn't want to work. So, I consulted the technical diary of what we need to do, and I just unplugged everything and plugged it back in. And here we are. So, weekly update number 106. So, guys, let me know what you have been up to on the live chat. Say hi if you are about. And we're going to get cracked in now with the information for this weekly update number 106. Do you know what I'll do actually? I'm going to print off my sheet. So bear with me so I know what we're looking at today. Got it all here because we've got quite a bit to go through. It's been an eventful week, I can tell you. It doesn't stop here at Upsticks and in Spain. So, as you can see, I've closed the computer down, so I'm sort of buying time. Wait there a minute. Here we go. I've got quite a few notes for today. And so and it's been a lovely week for the weather as well. Let's jump on the live chat then and let's get going. Donald, how you doing? And everyone, I'll tell you, no one's on today because everybody's out and about. This lovely weather, it's incredible. Alexander, how you doing? Cold here in Kilmarnock. I won't show you out the window then. I won't show you out the window here. It's been lovely here. 22 degrees yesterday. 22 degrees. Trudy, hey, how you doing? Anna Cares, you're on from a wet and windy France. Again, beautiful here. Why do everybody want to move to Spain? I don't know. We had our weekly one nice day a week yesterday. Now back to wet. Oh, it's a shame. It's looking to be good as well. The washing is to get done now. All that washing that's backed up. Open your windows. Get rid of all that mold that's on the walls. If you had your windows closed, and I'm only saying because I did this in my office at home, and it's very warm inside, and that creates dew on the inside. Next thing you know, you've got these dark patches. You've got to rub them off. Horrible. Now's the time, if you're in the Málaga area at least, tell me about the rest of Spain, to open your windows, get that air flowing through the house and dry everything out. And here we go. Steve and Pauline, hey, great to meet you. Thursday, thanks a lot for the advice to get the car headlights checked to see if they would pass an ITV, which they wouldn't, even though they have a converter. There you go. That's good. So, yeah, great place to start that today. So, bumped in there to Steve and Pauline, who also got a photo here. Check this out. They're on the thumbnail, so you can check them out on the thumbnail. But also, they bumped into our mate Scats there at his gig. I think that was a Valentine's Day gig, wasn't it? And they sent me that photo across to show you today. And Steve was talking about his headlights, and a lot of people come over and with the headlights. And back in the day when I was doing cars in 2008, 2009, 2007, around there, it was a case of just get replacements because 90% of the cars were just halogen lights, weren't they? You could get replacements fairly quick for the left-hand drive, take them out and put them back in. Nowadays, a lot of the cars have LED. They have like these by xenon lights and stuff, all sorts of fancy stuff on the dashboard. It says, oh, switch to left-hand drive driving and blah, 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 blah. But a lot of the time, what it does when it switches to left-hand drive driving, if the beam spread is like that, it will just drop it down and lower it a bit, but the kick will still be the same. Or it will flatten it like that, and there'll be no beam shining in the opposite direction, but there'll still be a little bit of a kick there, especially Mercedes. They do that a lot. And so they don't qualify to pass the ITV, albeit they don't have the beam which blinds the oncoming traffic. So it's always best if you can, to get your headlights checked on one of these Canon machines, like the Tunner machines. You go straight to the garage, say, hey, can you put this on? Probably where to charge you. Don't know, Steve, let me know if they charge you or not. And that has the exact beam spread, how it's needed for the ITV. They do it for the pre-ITV checks as well. And they'll let you know, yes, they are actually good for an ITV or not. Danielle or Diane, sorry, Diane from a cold Yorkshire. Oh, sorry about that. I've got a few people in from the UK today. Good evening, Chris. Thought I'd pop in to see what's new. Hey, how you doing, Paddy Spain? Good to see you on. I think you jump onto Scats quite a bit as well, didn't you? So great to see you in the house. Okay, so what's new? I better give you something new then, haven't I? So that's the only photo I had for the residency, though we have had some visas out. So let's talk about visas first of all. Well, I mean, I've got here. 1 second. Let's talk about visas. Visas out, Edinburgh. So, hang on, I just couldn't find the photo here from Joe. Where is it? Anyway, Joe and Christine, congratulations after a very nervy time. You got your visas out in 10 weeks, and that is Edinburgh to Orihuela to Alicante. But I was just seeing, because I had a nice photo and obviously didn't save it, so I'm gonna put you on, Joe. I don't know if you're watching or if you do watch, or even if I asked permission to show this photo, but I'm gonna, because it's just such a fantastic photo. I'm gonna nick it for a thumbnail. So there you go. Loving it. Well done, Joe. 10 weeks, and now we're making plans for stage 2. That is Edinburgh to Alicante, 10-week visa. That's good. And Steve M3 said, oh, Steve, sorry, cheers, Steve. No charge to get the lights checked. English Garage, Torre del Mar. Share us a link. Tell us where it is, and we'll give them a plug. Well done, guys, for not charging at the English Garage. Who are they? Share them with me. You can help me there, because we're always looking for good garages to help us out and help our clients out. Neil said, hi, Chris and Scene, just purchased a Fiat 500 for Debs. Great deal in Los Montesinos. Oh, brilliant. How much was that? Now, I've only been in a Fiat 500 once, and it was the funnest car ever. We rented one in Menorca. So we got a winter trip in Menorca. Crazy cheap flights. It was like 10 euros a flight from Malaga. So it'd be rude not to go. And we booked it was one of the most fantastic holidays we ever had, because Menorca is a summer destination, but we like doing winter trips. It's nice and cheap. There's no one there. And we live in Malaga, so we've got the beach on our doorstep anyway. And we went to Menorca, and I said, you know what, let's get a convertible. You know, it's not quite convertible, are they? But the ones where the roof comes off and it leaves the whole up bit open. Kids were quite young then. And of course, we got to the airport, a local company. There was a lady with a clipboard waiting in the car park there for us. And but what I didn't take into account was trying to get a 22-kilo bag in the back, because they've only got them little hatches, haven't they? So if I remember correctly, we had to take the wheels off in the end. I'll see if I can find a photo of it for you. But it was so much fun. We loved that car, to the point the kids were like, can we buy one at home? I was like, no, I don't think we can get one. It's not going to be what we need at home. But I'm trying to see if I can actually find a photo of it. We had such a great time. Oh, here's one. Bombing up and down Menorca in his Fiat 500. Here you go. And as you can see, the kids loved it. That was a couple of years ago now. But yeah, I would definitely, if I was to swap the little red car that we've got, the little IQ, which we bought from Scotland from my father-in-law, I would definitely get one of these. The kids absolutely loved every minute of it. So there you go, digressing. Here we go. Let's give a shout out to who Steve used, Talleres Simon. So Talleres Simon, Poligono Industrial Los Moranos, Calle Buenavente, number 11. So give them a shout out for helping out our clients for free. There we go. So where were we with the residency side of things? So that was our only visa, which came out today. I had a great time this week. I mean, I couldn't too many people to shout out, but I've been and done some pickup appointments. 18 appointments of picking up cards for visas, renewals, and for the withdrawal agreement, and meeting some people I'd never met before who we dealt with 5 years ago. And people that I dealt that I'd just been dealing with for years and years, haven't ever met. It was lovely just to get on the ground and meet people. So thank you to you all. Just wanted to give a shout out to everybody who got their renewals through. So we've had a bit of a pain with the renewals. They're just taking so long. We've had renewals where we've had to demand that they automatically approve them, because after 90 days, if you've submitted the renewal, it is what they call automatically approved for going over the time. Then we've had them where we've had requirement notifications through, then they add 10 days to that time, and it gets to that time, and even when you do request the automatic approval, they don't send it through, and they tell you it's on the basically on the desk waiting to be signed, but it never gets signed. And we've had quite a few renewals go over that period, which has been a real pain. But I'm happy to say that a lot of them have dropped in. A lot of this stuff behind the scenes you guys won't know about, because it's what we have to deal with when we're going through the renewals, because you've provided all your documents, we've submitted it, and that's the little bit in the middle where we're fighting to get them out as soon as possible. But we're fighting with 35,000 other people and immigration, and it's all done on a digital platform between letters and messages and blah 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 blah. And that's why we do what we do. But we got loads out this week. So if I've missed any of you out, then please excuse me, because we're still processing them. But after an absolutely dead week of renewals, and the previous week only 2 coming out, we'd like to congratulate Richard and Debbie from Málaga, Gregory and Beverly from Murcia, Ray and Sarah from Murcia, who were almost 6 months. It was a nightmare for that one to come out, but it came out in the end. David and Diane from Alicante, Janet and Stephen from Jaén, Paul from Almeria, Kevin and Linda from Alicante, Scott from Malaga, and there's still a few more I haven't added to the list, but well done, guys. That's 2 for 12, 14, 15 renewals out. But that means 15 appointments around Spain that we've got to book, and all of our appointment specialists will be lined up for you. And well done to Jane, who has just been absolutely hammered with these renewals and managed to get all of the notifications out to people. So well done as well to Jane. And Jane says will be coming up in just a minute. And also, I said, well done, Stu and Joe and Waffles. How you doing over there? I actually did a lemon short to show you about my lemons, because you sent me your lemons through, and then I completely lost it. So I'm gonna have to do it again this weekend. But I wanted to show you the size of my lemons, which sounds weird, but you sent me about your lemons in a pot. You can grow lemons in a pot, which now I was considering maybe doing for a small part of our terrace rather than having a lemon tree, which is massive. But the lemons have gone round. They're so full at the moment because of the water we've had, and I wanted to show you. But congratulations yet to Barry and Yvonne and Paul and Mary. Jane now arrived, and our good neighbours. I'm going to have to get down to your street, aren't I? I could be visiting Murcia at the end of the month. We don't know yet, because there's some appointments that need covering, which are in an hour. And I said, when we get the appointments which have been booked so tight, I'd really want to go. Julie or Victoria will be there with me as well, because I haven't been and done appointments in Murcia myself for 2 years now. And I like to keep my head in the game, know what's going on at the desks, know what people actually feel like when they're there, so that's why I've been getting out in Malaga again. And it's easy to sit behind the desk and speak to people and talk about what the experience is going to be like when they go for things like their TIE card. But that's why But if you've been there and done it yourself with a client, it's obviously a lot easier to describe. And I have been to all of the police stations that we use over the years, but it's about time I revisited that and kept that sort of knowledge and feeling and remember what it's like for clients going. So I might be coming, and if I do, we'll definitely have to meet up. Don't know where we'll be staying yet, don't know who's looking after our dogs, don't know anything, so but we'll see. Hola Chris, lovely last couple of days in Mercy. Oh, that's nice. Where's the cooking stuff, Rob? Come on, I haven't seen anything that you've made lately. I'm running a bit, the cooking section isn't going that well at the moment. We need to up our game. So the Royal Week, because I thought, Rob, I thought you might have a couple of recipes there for me. Are you bragging about your levels? Yeah, a little bit. I am actually. You wait till you see them. Oof. Yes, yeah, I'd love to. I'm going to bring the family though. My family met with Joff and Elaine yesterday, just briefly in the car park. I went out to an appointment yesterday afternoon. It was so nice to for everybody just to say hi. You know, that's what we need to do. Okay, so that was our renewals. That's our NLVs, EU residencies as well. We've done a few of those this week, and we're on the 16 minutes. It's already 21 minutes past. 22 people on. So let's put this up actually as my reminder here. You got anything interesting to tell me, guys? Any questions? Not too hard. No, I'm joking. That's not what you like. You can buy us a coffee here. Always forget to put this up if you enjoy the content for the show, and we'll add it to our coffee pot. And our next section is so just before that, I literally just got off the phone and we're reminding people about the validity of documents at the consulates at the moment. Remember that the validity of your ACRO criminal records check or any criminal records check that you use is 6 months. Okay. So remember, it's 6 months validity on that. Unlike other documents who have a validity of 3 months, the ACRO criminal records had a validity of 6 months. I was talking to a client, a possible client today, who will have to get criminal records from 2 places because they haven't lived in the UK for the last 5 years, only a couple of years. And both of those criminal records will have a validity of 6 months when you get them. Remember that the validity stops at the point that you go to your appointment, albeit the visa might take 3 or 4 months to come out. They should, once you got your stamp, been on the 1st of May, for example, as long as that document was valid on the 1st of May, then it is valid. Recently, we had a requirement letter from the consulate after 3 months, which I really didn't agree with, asking for updated financials. As far as I'm concerned, the day that they go in is the day they're stamped and the day they should be valid. But if they ask you for it, it's so hard to fight against it. You just have to really abide by what they say. Now, in Manchester, this has come up quite a lot recently. They do ask for the second page of an ACRO that shows no live trace. If you submit that initially with your visa, remember to write a letter explaining just the no live trace bit, basically, because they have been coming back and saying, could you just explain what the reason for the crimes which have been stepped down, which makes it a no live trace. Not to be worried, because no one's actually had their visa denied for having offences stepped down. You just have to offer an explanation. We always include it in the letter. Make sure when you get your ACRO, if you've got a second page which shows offences on there, you keep it scanned. At least if you hand over the original one, keep a really good copy scanned along with the copy of your ACRO, which you will get anyway because you're using a translator. And I now am considering asking people to write the explanation in a separate part instead of just including it in the big letter, which I don't even know if they read or not. It seems to help. But in a separate explanation and attaching it to the ACRO. Because a couple of times we've done this and they've come back to us and they've gone, we need this part 2, we need an explanation, when it has all been handed in already. Okay, so yeah, that was a little digression there about the ACRO because that came into my head. Paul says, Mercia, just back from viewing properties in Mercia. How windy has it been? Yes, yeah, very windy. Oh, very, very, very windy. Yeah, still a bit of a breeze going on outside here today as well, but the air is very fresh. It's these beautiful evenings at the moment, because it is windy, it's fresh, no haze in the sky, and the sun sits low when it's clear. You get those lovely long shadows, don't you? It's just, you know, if you're considering moving to, I moved here 26 years ago and I was 21. So when you're 21, your priorities are always slightly different than when you're knocking the door of 48, I can tell you. But never has it ever stopped to amaze me, the landscape. Maybe it's because I'm a fen boy from Peterborough. There's not a lot to look at. It's all flat and there's no sea. So that's a bonus when you spent the first 20 years of your life in Peterborough, because it's flat with no sea. So every time you see, any palm tree and any clear sky and any mountain and any sea, and it looks beautiful, I still get blown away. I still wake up in the morning and I honestly have this inbound appreciation, inward appreciation for where I live and what I can see. Honestly, I get up in the morning, I'm driving to work, and the illusion is still there of wow. And I said to the kids, so you guys are used to it, you were born here, but wow, they just look at me and laugh. But anyway, Jane says, what does Jane say? Right, so we have had a lot. This is just a note from Jane. So we get in the province of Malaga requests for Pacific police stations, because there's 9 of them here, but they're really hard to book, and we have a certain time scale in which we can book them. We would send translators to any of them. It's not a problem. Recently, we had to book one in Torre del Mar for a client of ours who has really reduced mobility. She couldn't get to Malaga, but it took us like a month and a half for some reason to book it. We couldn't. It just keeps crashing, that one. The other day we got some in Fingarola for a client again who can't move that well, so would never bring them to Malaga. But on some occasions, like if it's a family of 4, for example, who are mobile, do have a car, we have to put you in the capital in Malaga, because it's impossible to get all 4 of you together in a Pacific police station that you want to go to. So our apologies. More if you're in Alicante, Murcia, or in Malaga, and we can't get the Pacific place that you want to, we do prioritize people with reduced mobility when we have limited access to certain appointments. We just do. All right, that's why we ask you, do you have a car? Are you prepared to travel? And what the circumstances are. So we have quite a juggling act when it comes to the timescales in which you have to book the appointments, where people go. But yeah, we do prioritize maybe our clients who have slightly more reduced mobility and can't get to places over people who are happy to travel, make a day of it. Maybe get to Murcia, come to your appointment, then go into the town, go somewhere else and see it. But we do our absolute best for everybody. Okay, we promise you that. Within the confines of what we can book, we've got the A team over there booking for us. Got a bigger shout out to Victoria and both Julie. Victoria always gives us the heads up when appointments are available in certain places. Between us, the whole team are trying our best. And here in Malaga, I do a lot of the booking myself. Jane's on it as well. And we do our best, but we can't always get the police stations that you desire, but we will get you in, that's for sure. But yeah, as I say, we do, if people have certain needs, like reduced mobility, sometimes we'll send people to police stations where where they have to go a bit further, but they can park closer. So for example, Alicante, Mira, bit of a nightmare to drive to, but you can, if you follow Google, get there, but the car park is there. So find a day that it's not a market day, the car park is literally a 2-second walk from it. So we'd rather send somebody with reduced mobility there than maybe somewhere where you have to walk a bit farther, like Orihuela, where you have to park, a bit further away, harder to get to, so all those factors. It's not just booking an appointment we send you, we do consider these, and Jane holds it very close to her heart. She considers a lot more than me because she's managing stage 2, and she will put the notes. I see the notes on the booking appointment list. Please do this, do that. So yeah, we try our best. The other thing is recently, taking Spanish lessons and learning Spanish. How are you guys getting on with learning Spanish? I follow this guy, can't remember his name for the life of me, called The Spain Show on Facebook. Let's follow him. Follow this guy. He's hilarious. I only just come across him. Suddenly, he's been around for years, apparently, but I don't look at social media that much. But he's done this word search thing, which seems to be selling very well on Amazon. I didn't ask his permission to say this or put it on the link, but I'm sure he won't mind. And he's from Mercia. He's been in the Mercia paper as well, because I really like the Mercia Today paper as well, thing that we read articles from. And it was just a really interesting twist on learning Spanish. So I should have really got his book up. But yeah, how are you guys learning? We've had a lot of experiences lately, especially in the local medical centers, people haven't been as nice to clients who don't speak Spanish. And it was about, just remember that, learning Spanish, you don't have to be fluent. I am 45% way through a book that I'd love to publish about learning Spanish. I'll pick it up, put it down. I might get it done by 2030. But things like using post-it notes around the house, that was when I started learning Spanish. There was no Google, there was no internet to speak of to learn from, so I used to use post-it notes, and I'd write one word on a post-it note, stick it on that thing like a window, ventana. Guarantee you walk past that 20 times, that word, you say it out loud 20 times, it enters your head at some point. How are you getting on learning Spanish? Make sure you're learning Castilian Spanish. It's Spanish, not South American Spanish. Give us some clues onto how you are learning. Are you doing, back in the day, it was intercambios. People met up who wanted to learn English, wanted to learn Spanish, got together at half an hour of each. But learning Spanish, you need to, your quality of life will be better if you could even get the minimum basic understanding. What else do we have? Regarding the entry-exit system, can we have some more reports back for people who are traveling, please? Mainly in the main airports, Málaga, Alicante, and Murcia. We don't know what's happening there. We don't travel ourselves. We don't get any insights. The only information we get is the feedback from you guys. I had a question the other day. I've got a permanent TIE card. Do I stand in the EU line or do I stand in the British line? Right. To be honest with you, I haven't traveled through the entry-exit system with a TIE card yet, but I always used to go down the EU line. And I used to blag it in Malaga. I used to get to the front and go, yeah, but I speak perfect Spanish. Not native, but close to perfect. My grammar probably isn't that perfect, but I can be understood in every situation. And I understand Andalusians. I'm going to give myself a tap on the back for that. So I can blag it a little bit with the police. If I go, make a joke and probably get away with it, which I have done on various times. Could you do that if you didn't speak Spanish? I don't know. After 26 years, I should speak Spanish. So, so yeah, let us know, give us feedback. And just going back to the Spanish thing here with Jane, she said, look, if you are going to healthcare appointments, initially it's probably a good idea if you're going to the public healthcare system to take a translator with you. We are working on trying to expand our network of not only appointment specialists who from Upsticks meet you at your appointment for the TIE card, maybe translators who can help you on the ground as well, that we can refer you to if you need that kind of help. Going back to the here we go. Let's go back to this first of all. Oh, Patrick, how you doing? Yeah, catch up later. Good to see you on. Thanks for your constant support. I'm sure that we get a lot of views which are down to Patrick, and people see us because you've been following us for so long. Cheers. Appreciate that. Have you tried freezing your lemons? And I have dehydrated theirs too, but we had a bit of a disaster. I'm going to start all over again with the dehydrating. I'm going to try if I can do it this weekend. We've had quite a busy time, so obviously work, it comes first. And these renewals that came through, the withdrawal agreement, because we can never tell what's dropping in, it generates an awful lot of work. So I've been focusing on that. But what I want to try is dehydrating in my dehydrating machine, which cost me 40 euros on Amazon and takes for like 12 hours. Dehydrated in an air fryer, which I have got a Ninja air fryer. the good ones. Lara said to me ages ago, we need to get a Ninja. We need to get the stacked Ninja, nice and compact. And I'm like, no. It's far too expensive. We don't need that. Yeah, I mean, we don't need that. A normal air fryer will do. We do, she said. I said, what's wrong with the normal one tray air fryer? Anyway, 2 years ago, we bought a Ninja in the end. We put the bill and never looked back. It's the most amazing thing in the world. Roast dinners, everything. Eat my hat. And my sister told me as well, 2 years before that, you've got to get a Ninja. They're fantastic. And you can dehydrate a Ninja as well. So we're going to try those two methods. Not dehydrating in the sun. Did that with tomatoes once. You can only do that in the car in 40 degrees. And then just freezing them normally and see how we get on. But I'm very conscious that I'm going to have to start doing it soon because the lemons are ripe and they won't be back. And they won't, the tree won't be encouraged to produce more if I don't pick them. Here we go. Donald says, Stewie, we've been freezing. Sorry, you're talking between yourselves. That's lovely, isn't it? I'll put it up. Oranges and kumquats and dehydrating oranges. Oh, kumquats. That's the what's a kumquat in Spanish? I only know fruits in Spanish. I've got a lot of vocabulary. I don't know in. Is that not the? That's a níspero, isn't it? A níspero is a kumquat. Oh no, it's not. That's the little orangey type things which you eat in one. Oh, I haven't got any of them. I might get one of those plants. A kumquat plant ready for next year. Oh, was it? I didn't realize it's Joanne's birthday. So how can you wish Joanne a happy birthday? It was last week and we missed the live show. So our son surprised Joanne with a visit from you. Oh, lovely. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. I've still got Joanne's handy pottery here ready to go on the wall, which I haven't put up yet. If you need a sign, Joanne makes them. She's on an LV. So she can't earn any money. So you have to pay her in wine. You have to pay her in wine. And I hope that's a good deal. Rob says, or if Joanne doesn't drink, I can't remember, she just drinks, doesn't she? I can't remember now. If not, we'll find a drink that you can donate for a sign. We go Tuesday and Thursday for an hour and a half, each locally really good. The Word Search guy is one of our neighbours on El Valley Golf. We follow him too. Oh, really? Cool. Seems a very cool guy. I have to say, I do like his content. He dedicates a lot more content to what I do, but I do like his content. I think the Word Search guy is cool. If anybody knows his name, or tell him when you see him, tell him Chris from Upsticks thinks you're cool. A lot younger and better looking than I am. Our Spanish teacher is a local teacher. It's great fun. She's amazing, very supportive. This is great, you know, getting involved and having fun, not concentrating on being perfect, concentrate on getting understood and concentrate on things that you like. That's what you need. Patrick says, unfortunately, my Spanish is mostly Latin American. That's okay. I found that singing my favorite Spanish song on YouTube with the lyrics is a good way to get the pronunciation right. I tell you what, there's a lot. My daughter who speaks very fluent, she's more Andalusian. They look at us and say, where do you come from with that blonde hair? Sounds like she's from a village in Andalusia. Also speaks a bit of Latin American because a lot of the songs they listen to has that. Yeah, Paddy says Ninja is the best. Yeah, I have to. Brilliant. Actually, you obviously haven't been married long enough if you don't automatically obey Chris. Well, you know what? We have this thing, we have this joke in our house where we have this process where Lara will say something, I will just object just because that's my job as the husband, and then we'll go with what Lara says anyway. But we've got to follow the process, haven't you? Do you know what I mean? And yeah, I want some photos of that dried stuff. And Donna said, first experience with dehydrator seemed to take ages, but outcome is good. Yeah, mine seemed to take ages as well. Patrick says, so now we have 6 Upsticks clients on the same street. How many in total in Campus Sol, Chris? Oh, I'm going to ask Jane. We have an awful lot in Campus. I'd say at least 30 couples, at least, I'd say, over your way in Campus Sol and Matharon. So we'll have a bit of a roundup actually before I come over and see if Jane can give me some numbers because she manages the CRM better than I do. I just crack on and do crazy YouTube videos. So let's crack on with talking about that. Let's crack on with our next thing. Which is one of my sayings, isn't it? Crack on, get your ducks in a row. Where are my ducks? I haven't seen my ducks for a while. Normally here. Jenny, you my ducks. Here we go. They've got, remember the Manchester Ducks still got me here. Get your ducks in a row. Right, YouTube. So what has been happening on YouTube? A couple of questions on there, a couple of comments I wanted to show you. So I'll bring that up now. And Scats has also sent me a few things to show you across. So we have had, this is next Monday. So we're going to deep dive into move date and the tax deal next Monday. It's going to be a recorded show, which perhaps we're going to record tomorrow. But me and Scats from YouTube Spain, don't forget to subscribe to that channel as well. We're going to talk more about the timing because it's this time of year when the oh, hang on a second. I'll just get my comments up as well. You think I'll be able to do this all in one go when you sort by newest? There we go. Apply. Where we get these sort of the questions about the timing, and I can't give specific answers, and this is so frustrating because people are now at this point where they're putting their house on the market. Spring is coming. It's a good time to sell, but the UK market is very, very, very flimsy, for want of a better word, and seems to be local. Some areas which are very sought after, some areas are just collapsed. I don't know what's happening in the UK housing market. The same, it's an unstable in the sort of in a bad way as the, I'm just talking from pure, I'm not a housing market analyst, but I do talk to an awful lot of people who are selling houses in the UK. I talk to an awful lot of people who are trying to get houses and rent in Spain. And it seems that the UK market is having a bit of a wobble and is unstable in a bad way, as the housing market in Spain is as unstable and having a wobble in a good way, where in Spain the prices seem to be like this but on a very upward spike, though what they are actually published at, I don't believe is what they're selling for, but we know that the prices are high, rentals are high, and the local markets have seemed to be very isolated to how much you can rent and how much you can buy for. And it seems to be in the UK that a lot of the sales are dropping off and people can't sell their properties and insure when they can. And this generates a huge problem when it comes for timing, because as you know, the Spanish tax year runs from the 1st of January to the 31st of December. And if you spend more than 183 days, generally you become a tax resident. And if you're selling a property in that period and you're a tax resident, you may be liable for capital gains. It brings up all sorts of timing questions as to when you should sell, when you should move. And if it all collapses, what is your liability going to be and what documents you have to redo? So we're going to dive deep into that on Monday with Scats. There was also, I did a Valentine's Day video. Check it out. I went for a walk, recorded a video, bit of a laugh. Check that out on our channel from Saturday. I have a video from Jaén coming up, out and about. A couple of weeks ago we went, haven't published it yet, halfway through that. That is a Friday video that Scats is going to do, which relates to the video we are doing on Monday. And let's share our comments screen and see what we've got going on there. 25 people on now, guys. Good to see you. So let's just expand this a bit, get me out of the way, shall we? So our comments we have on our community. I wrote, I found a short. Now, this is quite funny because Kev had a comment here, he's not on today, about these V16 lights, which are, hang on a minute. No, I didn't want that. I wanted to be the other way around. There we go. I'll just be the little man in the corner. They look like little garden lights. They've got this like green holder which goes up like this, and then it's got the light on top and they're rounded. But Paddy said, who's on at the moment, I have two exact lights, nicely stand out, about 4 inches taller than the standard lights. Good point. That makes them more visible. That's why I did this little short. I thought, hey, you got 300 views as well. The shorts where I don't think about them get more views. And Kev said that you can see that I've just bought a house because I spent half my time in Leroy Merlin's. This is true. We'll be back to get a shower unit soon because ours doesn't seem to have any pressure. We've had the pressure fixed in the house, which then blew a pipe, which means we've now got a leak. So we've got fantastic pressure going into the house. But then if you make sure that the pressure gets to where it needs to get to, it then highlights where you've got bad connections, whereas bad pressure didn't. So then we've got leaks at the moment. I haven't had a shower for a day until the plumber comes back. It's all good fun, isn't it? And Kev said another one of my serious stuff places is Obra Mat. Yep, we do like Leroy's or Obra Mat. And we've got here from Kevin said to me on this video here, buying a second car in pay, how much down payment you pay and emiss you pay. Okay, on this video here, which was buying a second-hand car in Spain. How can I expand on that thumbnail for you? Maybe I can't. Oh, no, you can't. I did that back when we bought our Kia, which is nearly 4 years ago now. But I think you were asking what was the down payment on that. Well, this is one of the things that you have to look at when you're buying a car in Spain. If you're buying it with finance. Oh, 1 second. What have I done there? Am I still here? Where am I gone? I'm there now. That'll do. Right. So if you're buying a car, they have these crazy things in Spain when you're buying a second-hand car. When you go to the dealership, which I always recommend you buy from a dealership, they always have decent motors in there. We got this, our Kia was second-hand. It was 3 years old, which meant that from buying new, they do have a big depreciation curve, but in Spain, that curve levels out very quickly. In the UK, that curve goes all the way down, and they keep depreciating. Whereas in Spain, the first 2 to 3 years, this is what I found when I was doing my research, they depreciated an awful lot in the first 2 or 3 or 4 years, and then it levels out. And then when you get to around 10 years, which seems to be the worst time to buy a 10-year-old car, seems to be the worst part because you're paying top dollar for a car with loads of mileage on it, or kilometerage on it. Then it's kind of, the curve goes steadily down until it gets to about 50 years old, and it's old and knackered, and you can still use them as a daily driver because they don't rot here in Spain. So the best time I found when I was doing my research to buy a second-hand car was at the 2 to 3 year mark, and I found that the dealerships were only charging around an extra €1,000 for their cars than private dealers, which meant that you got the guarantee of it coming from a dealership with the proper paperwork and the revisiones and the guarantee, if that's the case, which it was with Kia, which ours has just run out actually. And so I'd be up for selling my car now because my car is it's nearly 8 years old, and it has got 130,000 kilometers on it. It's been used by a family, slightly knackered, so it won't be any of you guys buying it. It's had 2 stamps from its revisions. It's gone through its second ITV, maybe even a third, I think, but we'd still get half decent cash for it because it hasn't quite hit the 10-year mark. But I'm obviously never going to sell it to anybody who watches this channel because you know what it's been through. It could do with a bit of a buffer as well. But when we bought it, we had the choice of buying it in cash, or we had the choice of getting finance on it, and the finance price was a lot lower than the cash price. And the reason is they give you a decent discount if you finance it. But with us having work history here, that was quite easy. We got a finance deal. They actually encouraged us, because we had some money saved to put down as a deposit, to not put as much down and take as much finance as possible. And then after 2 years, if you wanted to pay any of the finance off, there was only a 1% penalty on that. So what we did was we put the minimum amount down. Once we got to 2 year point, then we put some more down on the car, and which reduced the finance quite a bit. And you can either put that at a set monthly rate and reduce time, or reduce or spread that over the term of the finance, which means you're paying a little bit more interest. So you're probably better reducing the time, like I believe you are with a mortgage as well. So we ended up getting the car for a cheaper price, but reducing our finance liability. And the guy's maths, which he showed me, which I believed in the end. I didn't quite work it out myself. Showed me that the interest didn't meet the amount that we were paying extra for the new vehicle. It also meant that we kept our money in the bank for a bit longer. But you will see that financed vehicles are a lot cheaper than if you buy them straight off the shelf. But you have to be able to get that finance. For people who've recently moved here, it might be quite difficult because you don't have the finance history. And recently, I've had clients who have got proof of pensions. Pensions are for life. They're now being paid into a Spanish account, and they still wouldn't give them the finance. Let me know your experiences. But we initially, I think, got into that car to answer your question about 2,000 or 3,000 euros deposit, and the rest was initially on finance, though we did pay more off before the term. And we've still got finance on it now, but just less. So that was that. Now we've got, hang on a minute, I've lost the sharing. Where's the screen? Oh, here we go. Put it back on again. On my driving license exchanged, I received a fine notification from the DGT. They asked for the driving license number. I can't see this number on my driving license, which was a UK one transferred from a Spanish one. Where is this number they are asking for? That is Smithy in Spain. I'm going to reply to that right now. Smithy in Spain. Oh, I can't admit. It's your NIE number. Is your driving license number. So that helps. There we go. Sorry, I didn't reply before to that. And thanks, Patrick, on your comment on our family walk. And Kev says, when I was up at the snow wells in Sierra España last year, there was a Spanish boat collecting fallen pine cones. I mentioned in there that we collected some fallen pine cones to take the pine cone seeds out of, because you smash them open. There's little nuts inside called piñones. Unfortunately, we collected a load, and it turns out they were old cones, and the nuts didn't have any seeds in them because they obviously rotted away, albeit from the outside they looked fine. So they were empty nuts. I was trying to teach my daughter how to forage stuff, including wild asparagus and pine nuts. And we found one wild asparagus because someone had been before us and nicked them all, because you can see where they're broken off. Well, nicked them from me. And the pine nuts were dry. But anyway, we'll go out and do that again. We did find some nice wild thyme, actually. And Kevin says, I thought they were taking them for Christmas decorations. Now I know another possible reason. Yeah. Oh, here we go. This was from Get Me to Spain. Neil, cheers. Oh, I just back from a few days in the UK. Entry exit works easily, no queues at residence gates at Alicante. Scanned TIE cards, then we both had our passports stamped. Coming back in, no queues for residence gates again, but this time Sue had a passport stamped, no stamp in mine, from the same officer 5 seconds later, so a bit random. We have YouTube short videos showing this Friday. Get Me to Spain. Check that channel out. And I can't believe they're stamping one passport, not stamping another. Keep your proof of travel, guys, when you are traveling. From last week's show, Lisa Nerka, watching this at 5 a.m. Really enjoying watching it. Just one question I can't find 100% answer to. I am not covered by the withdrawal agreement temporary TIE. So when the earliest, I am not covered with the withdrawal agreement. Does that mean you are covered with the withdrawal agreement temporary TIE? So when is the earliest I'm allowed to put my permanent residency TIE? Do I have to know what it runs out like? No, you don't have to wait till it runs out. You can put yours in, I believe, 60 days before. But if you're on it, so you're on the NLV then, Lisa, is that right? If that is the case, I seem to remember it was 60 days before, because you're on an NLV. But the reason I'm saying that is because I have the article drafted for the Larga Duración residency from the new law. It's all been drafted. I'm just having it checked, and it's going to go live on the website. So off the top of my head, I remember it was 60 days before with that information, but I'll confirm that on the article, and I'll publish it on here when that's published, and it's going to tell everybody the next steps and how we can help you to do your Larga Duración. So that was YouTube. Should we crack on with our next section? Let's look at the comments, see how people have been getting on. Paddy says the V16s were €10 cheaper on Amazon. Yeah, that's true. I'd like to buy them from somewhere where I know they're going to be right, but Amazon seems to have the qualified ones, and obviously you can check it on the DGT website and against the Amazon website, who will tell you the proper code to check against the DGT website. And mixer showers generally have filters on them to the inlet connections. Oh, I didn't know that. After you need to scout and grit clean out. Oh, why didn't my plumber do that then? I'm sure my plumber would have done that. He did that to the taps, to get the pressure up in the taps. And then we had a new pipe fitted, which believe has probably broken another pipe, hence the leak. Alan, how you doing? Like the parade? Sorry, took advantage of my driving license exchange. Absolutely fantastic service. Oh, great. Excellent. Glad you got your license. I don't get involved too much in the licenses exchanges. That's Jane and the guys at the Historia, namely Jane and Marta, do those between themselves. But thank you for letting us know that went well. The system seems to work. Pine cones make great firelighters, as we know. Oh, really? I didn't know that. Well, there you go, I suppose, because they're full of oil. That's a good. Does it knacker your chimney, though? Do you get oil up your chimney? Because when my chimney sweep came, he said, don't burn dried fig trees. They've got a lot of oil. Don't burn pallets, because they've got products and chemicals in them. A load of things he told me that I'd been burning that you shouldn't burn to start fires. And he said, because it creates a lot. But he said, then it doesn't really matter if you call me every year and we clean it. And when he did clean it, to be fair, there was a lot of soot which could have took a light. So I don't know if he was looking for a bit of work there or not, but yeah, maybe. Right, and let's go on to our next section. But anyway, I haven't been burning that stuff, and I am going to get it cleaned every year after 2 fires in our town this year. Crazy. We went to a lovely restaurant yesterday evening. I had to go into Málaga to an appointment, do something else, and I took the family with me, and we've been spying for a long, long time in the Soho district of Málaga. So easy to get there, guys. What you want to do is, if you go to the Soho district in Málaga, you need to go to this car park, which I should have had up and ready for you. But if you're coming to Málaga, right, let me just find Google Maps. Here we go. There is a car park which is called, so I know how to get to it automatically, can never remember what it's called. And I thought about, here we go. It's on the Trinidad Grund, so I imagine it's called Grund Car Park or something. I can't find it now. Oh, here we go. There we go. Parky Grund. So this car park here, easiest car park to get to. So easy. I've only ever found it full once as well. It's called Parky Grund, and it's right in the entrance to Malaga. It's in Soho district, which is now beautifully done up. It never used to be like in the past. That used to be Soho years ago, used to be where the sailors used to come on and off and have a drink, and all sorts of nighttime activity went on down there. But now it's a beautiful place with hotels and lovely restaurants. And we went and visited this restaurant we've been eyeing up for a while. And the restaurant was called Bresca Soho, Italian style restaurant, which I will show you here. And right next to that car park, where's that then? There you go. Restaurant Bresca Malaga in Soho. Very reasonable. The meal was around €20 a head, and it's an Italian restaurant. And since we went to Italy, obviously now we consider ourselves experts, even though we went to many tourist spots, so we're probably not. But we love Italian food now, and this is what we had. So let's show you here. First of all, We had the carpaccio, which is raw beef with cheese on top and black olives on rucola. Rucola in Italy, they seem to, I don't know what rucola is in English, but it's like that spicy salad. Seem to put that on everything in Italy, including pizzas. And it was lovely. The only thing I didn't like was they put far too much of that balsamic drizzle on it. I think that's just, don't do it. People do it in all the restaurants. Balsamic drizzle is to be lightly drizzled. It's a very overpowered in taste. And don't put too much on it. Ruined the taste of the beef, to be honest. But anyway, it was a lovely dish. Lara loves it, so it's all down to taste, and she loves it. Now, that was mine. Now, I had pork cheek ravioli in a cream and sauce, which was topped with like nuts and spices, and it was absolutely out of this world, I have to say. And Lara had the spicy tomato pasta, which looked like this with a bit of Parmesan cheese, which was absolutely amazing as well. I tried that. And we basically had a really good night, and the restaurant setting was beautiful. They have this back bit, which is, I think, is really more designed for couples, but it wasn't very busy. So we sat in there, and it's called the Sala Rosa, and there's me and my daughter there, as you can see. Lovely sort of sofas, and yeah, that's Soho, Malaga Italian restaurant. Check it out. I had a really good time. And what else was I going to show you? Oh, look, here we go. Let me show you this. This was not out and about, but it is to do with food. Sorry, so it's out and about, but to do with food. Lara took this from Lidl's the other day. Check this photo out. Wow, you don't get many views like that outside of Lidl's, do you? So one thing that Spain do is storms very well, and when there's a storm behind you and it's raining but the sun's coming down, the arco iris or rainbow over Lidl's shines. That was absolutely amazing. And there we go. Oh. Here's an answer. Did our postcard turn up yet? No postcard. No postcard. Cheers, Patrick. Yeah. Jensen, morning, Chris. I'm looking forward to meeting Carly again in Almeria on Friday. My years 2 or 3. Got my photos done today. Oh, well done. I don't know if I congratulated you. Well done on you. It just seems because your first TIE appointment took so long. It was back in the crisis. Remember the TIE crisis of Almeria? You couldn't get appointments, and we finally got you one. Your renewal came round so quickly, but well done. First time we get your renewal, no questions asked from Almeria. There we go. So yeah, that's our lovely how do we get rid of there we go, remove that. And last but not least, now we're trying to be healthy apart from, oh dear me, I say, so I'm on an alcohol break at the moment. I'm doing dry-ish February. So if we have a nice meal at the weekend, I didn't at the Italian have a glass of wine to accompany my meal or anything like that. It's during the week, definitely no. But I'd had about 10 days off, 2 weeks off of alcohol before this last weekend. Valentine's Day meal, we went to our local restaurant, very nice, lovely steak, and the guy said, oh, are you going to have a bottle of bubbly to go with it? I said, yes, why not? So I had my first beer in a couple of drinks in a couple of weeks. Oh dear, Sunday, dear me, you can tell you've had the time off. A little bit of fizzy red wine and maybe a digestive after the meal, when it ruined my Sunday. I was awful. But we're also attempting to cook more healthy meals as well, but tasty. And not that we unhealthily here in Spain, but you know, this was one of my concoctions here, which was a bit of couscous. So quick, it was unbelievable. You can buy them. They are slightly more expensive, but Mercadona, a lot of the supermarkets do them. And if you go to now some of the vegetable shops, they'll do the pre-cooked pots. They're just a minute in the microwave. The couscous is done. You can put it on a plate. And I'm afraid sometimes when you're finishing work, that's what you need. If you guys are retired, you can concentrate on getting the correct hot water to couscous and spice levels. But that was one of those pots, I have to say. A bit of parsley chucked on there. There was just some mushroom and pork, which are just finely chopped up, put in the in the pan with a bit of soy sauce. Very simple. And those chilies, that's what I wanted to show you. I found those chilies in a fruit shop, and they actually had fresh chilies, green chilies and red chilies. And I literally just browned them off in a pan, fresh chilies for a couple of minutes with a bit of lemon. And I tell you what, that was so easy, so quick to make. Don't know what it's called because it's sort of a budget and leg it jobby. And having all those kind of things is gorgeous in your fridge. Those chilies were just the highlight. They're a little bit spicy towards the top, but yeah, it brought the meal alive. That with the lemon juice. So there you go. What we're doing now. Fun Spanish word today is, oh, hang on a minute, I had to download this, didn't I? I've got this prepared today because I know it never works. There we go. Fun Spanish word. It's on a food variety, but it's frito. So if you are, the literal meaning of frito means fried. So it's summer, you get a lot of the fried fish. It could be fried chips, and it's used for anything in cooking. Like, for example, huevos frito. So huevos frito is fried eggs, or pescado frito is fried fish. Pescado frito con patatas is fish and chips. But you can also use it to say you are cream crackered, absolutely shattered, exhausted, fed up. If you're just fed up, had enough, you know, some of you might feel like after some of these very long lives, then you can actually turn around and say, estoy frito. So when you've been working hard in the garden all day, doing lots of hard work, not something you'd really want to be doing, you can say estoy frito. Or even if it is something you want to be doing, maybe you've been doing a long run or you've been working all day and you absolutely love your job, but you got to that point where you just can't do anymore, you would say, I am absolutely fried, estoy frito. So that is your Spanish word for today. And last but not least, we're going to go to our out and about section. And we've still got 22 people on, guys. Thanks for staying with me. No, we're not. Stand by. Keep forgetting the news section. Just one bit of news I wanted to show you today for you guys over in Nurka. Lisa is often on. You're over there, aren't you? So let's have a look at this now. Did you know about this? I didn't know this was happening, but the town hall in Nurka rejects. Check out the link below in the comments. Town hall in Nurka rejects plans for a golf course and housing on Larios land. Councillor back Junta report stating the Vega Maro project must comply with current Andalusian planning laws. Lista instead of repelled LOUA laws. So there's not going to be a golf course over there. I mean, there's plenty of golf courses, isn't there, on the Costa del Sol? There's always this argument to whether it's going to bring employment, tax money, and tourists to the town, or local people saying it's going to ruin the area. But councillors in Nurka have unanimously rejected the request to authorize a golf course on the Vega Maro land. I mean, is that land even sort of so suitable for houses? I don't know. But it doesn't look like that is going ahead. What is your opinion? As I say, it depends what you are. If you live there, you'd probably hate it. If you wanted a job, you'd probably love it. There's always two sides to every story with these golf courses and stuff. But there's one thing is there is an awful lot of golf courses in Andalusia, so we're not short of golf courses. Live very close to one myself. Absolutely love it, so I can't complain because it's quite a nice place to walk up to and have a drink. I was going to short coming out on Friday about that, and it means that, you know, there's quite a nice safe area for us to walk around with the kids when we're walking the dogs, and they're generally next to other areas, like ours is next to a mountain we can walk in. So I love the fact that there's a golf course there, but then I understand people who may not want one. So what's your opinion on that? Let me know, and let me know why. I'm trying to get more comments, as you might be able to see. And now we're going out and about. So, out and about today, Richard, I don't know if you're on, but I've got to thank you for saving my life when it came to out and about, because I didn't have anything prepared other than a arco iris. But Richard sent me this email, and you don't mind if I read it out. I didn't ask you permission, but I'm sure you'd be fine with that. First of all, thank you to the team for getting us through our year 2 and 3 NRV. Congratulations, guys. The aloe vera you gave us, because Rich came to the office and he mentioned about aloe vera and stuff, and I had one, so I sort of I popped one in and said, hey, you can have one of mine. Is doing very well. I got a shot when I was tidying the garden after its winter sleep when I came across this giant Asian grasshopper. The only insect comparable in the UK was a stag beetle I had disturbed. Also, a pair of Egyptian grasshoppers enjoying the sun. The quality may not be good enough for the photos, but they are absolutely great. Have you had any thoughts about having every now and then a Spanish gardening slot on the channel? Keep up the great work. I am going to start the Spanish gardening slot for 2026 to keep up with our fun Spanish word. And let me just show you the photos that Richard sent me. Now, this is an aloe vera. Wow, that's doing really well. Blimey, that aloe vera has grown. You can start cutting leaves off of that and using it in all sorts of creams. Richard, well done. Who wants? I've got some aloe vera going soon. When I start repotting, if any of you guys in Spain want an aloe vera, let me know. If you'd like an aloe vera from Málaga, I use it on my hands quite a lot. And I've also used it in this thing that I saw on YouTube where you cut the aloe vera, you take the gel out. You've got to remember the yellow, to drain the yellow stuff off. I can't remember what it's called now. That is actually a diuretic. It makes you go to the toilet. So when you do cut your aloe vera plant, take the leaf off at the bottom. You won't do it any harm. Sometimes even in winter when it's raining, I cut them randomly. They always grow back well. And then cut the sides off. Okay, cut the top off and put it in a bowl of water and let all the yellow stuff seep into the water and give it a good wash, because that yellow stuff will make you go to the toilet. Once you've done that, just use a knife to slice off the top of the leaf, then use a spoon to take off the gel. You can put that into a bowl, and then you can actually mix that with honey, hot water, and a bit of lemon, and that is the best thing to soothe your throat. Did you know that? I saw that off this great guy called Creative Explained, and it actually does work, believe it or not. And can I see you later? Or offer a pizza and some nice red wine. Red line's off the menu for me for the time being, I'm afraid. I've posted in Fingerola. That's crazy. We haven't got it yet. Donald said, now that we're here and retired, we're eating more quick meals. There's too much else to do other than cook. And I've recently upgraded my fridge. What I found really helps with quick meals. Just having stuff you can fry off quickly in olive oil is just amazing. The other day we had a few carrots and celery just fried off in olive oil with a bit of Himalayan black salt. So simple, absolutely gorgeous. So this is the Egyptian grasshopper. Look at that, amazing, huge they are as well. This time of year when things get slightly warm up a bit, then you see them. And this is also a mantis, a praying mantis that Richard saw in his garden. And we will see them coming out the more and more the sun comes out, unfortunately accompanied by mosquitoes, probably, because as it gets warmer, the mosquitoes come out as well. Look at that. What's the scariest thing that you guys have seen? If you are scared of bugs, which I'm generally not, to be honest. And then the last thing here, Richard sent me another email, which I nearly missed, to be honest, but lucky I caught it. And it said the Alarin Ramblers went on an almond blossom walk to Guarro. Guarro being very close. Where's Guarro close to? It's here in Guadalhorce Valle, I know that. When it was blown again, I need to say there was no blossom, but the views were spectacular. The first picture is towards the Mediterranean Sea from Guarro, and the second one from Guarro itself. last but not least, I went on a lovely bike ride yesterday and a couple of views from Alarin Grande. That's my lot from now. So let's show you the views in Guarro of the sea. Wow, look at that down the mountain. The blossom should be out now, but with the storms, a lot of it's been blown off. I don't know if the crop's going to be good this year for the almonds, unfortunately. And that is from Alarin El Grande. Whereabouts were you there then? Whereabouts were you there? Hang on a minute. You can nearly see my house from there. Hang on a minute. Hang about. Let me just try and expand this. Oh. What have I done, guys? I'm sure. So that's the view. Well, oh no, that's the back side. And I've just expanded it a little bit more. If you were to go, now I'm confused where that picture is actually taken. Let me know where that picture was actually taken from. Because I'm trying to see. You can see now, what you can see there, though, is the fire breaks that they've cut in because of all the fires we've had. And here's another picture from Alarin El Grande on a bike ride. And I'd love to know, Richard, where you took that from. It's very, very close to where I actually live. And I just look at the mountains all day long and just fill me with awe. So Jen Strody, she says 100 wasps are also horrendous this year. Wasps are also horrendous this year. Some big nests around considering how cold and wet it has been so far. Haven't had a lot of wasps. Did I tell you about the wasp sting last year? When never ever have I taken an allergic reaction to a wasp sting. And I preparing for my daughter's party last year, which was in August. I picked up a gas bottle. Be very careful with gas bottles. Very careful. They generally make their nests underneath and they can build them in a couple of days. So it hasn't been moved, this gas bottle, for a while. I picked it up and paper wasp type things came at me from everywhere. I took 2 stings to my hand and I was like, oh dear, there we go. Kicked off the nest quickly to one side so no one else, because they always go back to the nest, don't they, after they've buzzed around stinging me. Then we got some insectant repellent, sadly put an end to the nest, got rid of it. It's not their fault, it was my fault, but you know, at the time I had a lot of people there, so I wanted to make sure there's nobody else at risk. And I just got on my merry way because it was a bit of a painful sting. And about half an hour later, sweating, didn't feel very well. Thought, what's all this about? So it was my daughter's party, my friends are there. I thought I'll have a beer. So I had a beer because that obviously helps sweats and stuff, but it didn't. And then looked down and what's wrong with your hand? Oh, massive, huge. So I got in the pool, cooled off, calmed down, had something to eat and got on with my day, but wasn't feeling very well at all. And then the next day after the party, we decided it might be a good idea to go and get it seen to, because it was still big, and I got it seen to and had a few injections in my backside, but I'd never taken an allergic reaction before. So same here in North America, breathtaking. Oh yeah, sorry, that was where did I get that big wasp? Yeah, in North Almeria, sorry. It's crazy, the wasps. Oh, here we go. Oh, that was an answer to this question. Talking about bees in the walls coming in and out February. I didn't notice them last summer. Yeah. Do you know what I saw the other day was a bumblebee? I saw a bumblebee. Anyway, guys, I just realized I'm waffling on and it's 18 minutes past 7 and I've got to go and pick up my daughter. Cheers. There's still, what we got on here now? 23 people. Cheers for your support on these lives. I have to say, aside from, obviously talking about work and stuff like that, I really look forward to them. It's a lovely break in the middle of the week when you've got your head in renewals, and you guys who have been through renewals, been through visas, had calls with me, stuff like that. You know how intense it can get sometimes. It's a fun but intense job at times. And sometimes having this in the middle and talking to you guys about it really helps. I enjoy every minute of it, and I hope you do too. Okay, then remember, if you want to contact us, if you are looking to get an NLV and starting your journey, then you can ask any question to all the crazy people that we have here on the live who've been through that journey, EU family members, whatever, or ask me a question on here. I will answer it in the next live. And if you want to contact us, please scan the QR code or using the details below. Even if you're moving in 2027, 2028, get your call booked in. All right, and guys, lovely to see you all. We will catch up next week with our weekly update number 108, and we may include the garden section in it. Why not? Let's keep expanding. Give the public what they want. Let's keep expanding our sections